God says, God is very angry with you because your name is mentioned in heaven. Open this message now before you allow doubt to steal what has already been written about you in God's holy plan. There are times when heaven speaks before the world listens, and this is one of those moments. When God calls out your name, it is not in vain. It is a sacred echo from His throne room, a divine whisper reminding you that you were never forgotten, you were never abandoned. Your name is etched into the palms of the Almighty, not to condemn you, but to call you home to His heart. There are moments in your life when pain shouts louder than peace, when mistakes feel heavier than mercy, and when silence makes you feel as though heaven has turned away. But hear this gently, and let it sink into the quiet places of your heart. God has seen every step, every stumble, every tear you've hidden from the world. And still, your name is being spoken in places far beyond human understanding. Heaven knows your name, and not for judgment but for restoration, not for wrath but for redemption. Type 2020 if you believe. Sometimes God's love feels like a fire, warm, refining, overwhelming. Other times, it feels like a whisper, gentle, soft, barely noticeable, yet powerful enough to change your direction. The anger of God is not like the anger of men. His anger is not cruelty. His anger is not punishment. His anger is a holy sorrow when His child drifts far from the light He offered freely. When your name is mentioned in heaven, it means that the battle for your life is sacred. It means that angels are already sent ahead of you. It means that your story has not ended, even if your strength feels like it has. You may not see it yet, but there are things shifting in the unseen. Doors you thought were sealed shut are beginning to creak open. The prayers you whispered through tears have not fallen into silence. They were collected like precious treasures by the one who calls the stars by name and yet still speaks yours with love. Do not be afraid of God's anger. Be moved by His mercy. Be stirred by His longing to bring you back, closer, deeper, into the life He dreamed for you before you ever took your first breath. There is a reason you are reading this message right now. This is not random. This is not meaningless. This is heaven's reminder that you matter. You are not invisible. You are not too far gone. God is very aware of the war within you, the guilt you carry, the choices you regret, the quiet ache that won't go away. Yet still, He speaks your name. Still, He watches over you. Still, He believes in the masterpiece He made when He formed you in His hands. Type 333 if you trust in God. There's a moment when God shakes the earth, not to destroy you, but to awaken you. There's a moment when He allows the noise of the world to quiet, just so you'll hear the truth that's been waiting for you all along. That truth is this: you were created for His love. You were formed in purpose. You were chosen long before the world ever tried to label you with shame or fear. God is not angry to cast you aside. He is angry because something holy is being stolen from you. Your peace, your joy, your identity, your nearness to Him. And He will not stay silent while you're being pulled away. This anger is not like lightning striking in rage. It is more like a father pounding on a locked door, begging his child to come back inside before the storm destroys them. It is more like a shepherd running toward a cliff's edge because he sees the one sheep wandering too close. It is more like the ache in a mother's chest when her child turns away. This anger is love dressed in urgency. It is fierce because it must be. It is loud because time is short. It is powerful because heaven refuses to let you go. So, don't turn your heart away in fear. Don't let shame convince you to hide from the one who sees everything already and still chooses you. The reason your name is in heaven is because you are known there. You are valuable there. You belong there. God is not waiting for perfection. He is waiting for surrender. He is not demanding you to fix yourself. He is calling you to rest in the arms of the one who already paid the price for every flaw, every failure, every moment you thought made you unworthy. He sees your confusion, and offers you clarity. He sees your brokenness and offers healing. He sees your wandering and offers you his hand, not to scold, but to bring you home. You are the reason heaven rejoices. You are the one the angels sing over when you come back into the light. So don't let the lies convince you that you're beyond reach. Don't let the noise drown out the truth that's been waiting to be heard by your soul. There are records in heaven that carry your name, not as a mark of failure, but as a sign of hope, a reminder that your story is not finished and the author of life has not set down his pen. You may feel like your prayers have gone unheard, your cries ignored, your efforts unnoticed, but the truth is, heaven has always been watching, always listening, and always calling you back. Type 222 to claim your peace. In the quiet hours, when no one else sees, God sees. He has witnessed your sorrow in secret. He knows the weight that keeps you from sleeping and the memories that rise when the world around you goes still. You were never alone in those moments, though it may have felt like the world forgot you. God never did. The same hands that shaped the mountains have reached for you again and again, hoping that this time you will turn around and take hold of his love. The anger you sense from him is not the kind that wants to punish. It is the kind that weeps when his child walks into the dark without realizing they're still loved. God's love is not fragile. It doesn't falter because of your past or disappear because of your mistakes. His love is fierce, unrelenting, protective. He is angry not because you failed, but because you forgot who you are. You forgot that you were chosen. You forgot that your name was spoken before time began, that your life carries a purpose far beyond what this world has tried to convince you of. The enemy wants you to feel forgotten, but heaven is shouting your name. You matter more than you know. You are not too broken. You are not too far gone. No matter how tangled your path has been, no matter how heavy the burden you carry, God still sees you as his, and because you are his, he will not stop pursuing you. He will not stay quiet while you suffer. He will not pretend that your pain is small. His love is louder than the voices that shame you, stronger than the guilt that haunts you, and more lasting than the regrets that try to define you. There's a war being fought for your soul, and heaven is not passive. God is standing on the battlefield, arms wide, calling you to run to him instead of away. His anger is a cry to come home. His voice is breaking through every lie that's told you that you're worthless, unwanted, or unloved. His spirit is hovering near, stirring something inside you that maybe you thought had died, a small flicker of hope, a whisper of peace, a longing for something more than just surviving. He wants your heart, not your perfection. He wants your surrender, not your performance. You don't need to be polished to be loved. You don't need to be strong to be held. You only need to come as you are, weary and wondering, tired and torn, and let him carry you into healing. He is not here to scold you. He is here to restore you. Type 1212 if you believe God is not done with you. Every day, heaven has been waiting. Every moment, the door has stayed open. Every second, your name has remained in God's heart. He is not looking for reasons to turn away. He is searching for even the smallest turn of your heart back toward him. Even now, as you read these words, he is near. You don't need to understand everything to respond. You don't need to fix everything to believe. Just let your heart be moved, just a little, just enough to say, God, I'm listening. The pain you feel is real, but it's not where your story ends. The shame you carry may be heavy, but it is not your name. You are not forgotten. You are not unloved. You are not invisible to the one who breathed life into your lungs. And yes, his heart aches with the things that have pulled you away from him, but even greater is his joy when you turn toward him again, even if it's just with a whisper. Let these words wrap around your soul like a warm blanket. Let them speak louder than the noise of regret. Let them be the voice that pulls you from the edge and says, "You are still mine." That's what God wants you to know. He isn't standing far off, arms crossed, waiting for you to fail again. He is running toward you, with tears in his eyes and healing in his hands. He is not too holy to hold your hurt. He is not too mighty to mend your soul. You are the one he leaves the 99 to find. You are the one whose name is carved into his memory. You are the one whose heart still matters to him more than the stars in the sky. His anger is not wrath. It is rescue. His frustration is not rejection. It is a plea. Please come home. God doesn't need you to be fearless. He just wants you to trust. He doesn't demand that you understand every detail. He only asks that you believe he's still writing something beautiful, even from the pieces that feel beyond repair. There is healing waiting. There is grace waiting. There is a joy you haven't tasted yet because the world has been feeding you emptiness for too long. But there's more. There's better. There's Jesus. But heaven has been calling out your name with tenderness, with purpose, and with a love so deep it refuses to give up on you. What you're sensing is not punishment, but a divine urgency. It's not anger born from hate, but a powerful longing that cries out when love is left unanswered. God's heart breaks when you walk away from the peace he created for you. His voice rises not to harm you, but to shake the fog from your spirit so you can see just how much you are still his. Type 1212 if you walk by faith. There are many voices in the world, but none will ever sound like his. When the world speaks, it speaks conditions. It reminds you of what you lack, what you did wrong, where you failed. But when God speaks, he calls you back to who you really are. You are not a mistake. You are not forgotten dust. You are not defined by the wounds you carry or the chains that try to keep you small. You are the child of a living God who still sees value in your voice, purpose in your pain, and hope in your tomorrow. You see, when your name is mentioned in heaven, it means something eternal is being discussed. It means angels are being dispatched. It means your life is not drifting. It means there is still a heavenly plan that has not been erased by your struggles or delayed by your mistakes. God's anger is not final. It is the thunder that comes before the rain of mercy. It is the roar of love too powerful to stay silent while you slowly forget how much you matter. Somewhere inside you, beneath the doubts and the fear, there is still a quiet ache for more, a hunger for peace, a longing for something greater than survival. That ache is a sign that you are still connected to the voice that made you. It's the whisper that reminds you you are not here by accident. You have not been left behind. You are not too far. If anything, you are closer than ever to the moment everything changes. You don't need to pretend. You don't need to perform. You don't have to prove anything to be loved by the one who already knows your whole story and still desires every part of you. Come with your weariness. Come with your cracks. Come with your disappointment, your guilt, your questions, and your scars. God is not afraid of your brokenness. In fact, he moves toward it. He sits in it. He turns it into something sacred. There is a love that never gets tired of calling your name. There is a grace that still believes you can be whole. You have not ruined it. You have not run too far. The fire you thought had gone out is still there. It just needs a little breath of heaven to burn again. That's what God is doing right now, breathing life back into places you thought were done. Breathing truth into lies you believed. Breathing peace into chaos that has worn you down for too long. Type yes to affirm this word in your life. Your journey hasn't been easy. You've faced storms that nearly drowned you. You've carried burdens no one else could see. You've smiled while your soul was breaking. But even in all of that, you were never unseen. You were never abandoned. There were moments you didn't even realize God carried you, times when your strength wasn't enough, but somehow you made it through. That wasn't chance. That was him. That was love. He's angry not because you're lost, but because you've settled for less than what he gave his life to offer you. He's angry at the lies that convinced you you're too far gone. He's angry at the shame that keeps whispering that you're not enough. He's angry at the fear that grips your heart and tells you not to try again. That's the kind of love he gives, a love that fights for you. even when you're too tired to fight for yourself. There is nothing in your past that disqualifies you from His future. There is no chapter of your life too dark for His light to redeem. He's not standing at a distance shaking His head. He's standing close, waiting for your eyes to meet His again, just for a moment, just long enough for you to remember. Remember who you are. Remember whose you are. Remember that the hands that were pierced for you not out of duty, but out of love so personal, so intense, so beautiful that it changed everything forever. Right now, the heavens are not silent. Your name is still echoing through the places where angels dwell. Your story is not being erased. It is being rewritten. You are not standing at the end. You are standing at the edge of a new beginning, one that can only start when you let go of everything that was never meant to carry you and return to the one who always has. He's been waiting not with anger that rejects, but with love that restores. The anger you feel is the sound of heaven refusing to let you disappear into despair. It is the thunder before the calm. It is the shaking before the settling. God is not giving up on you. He never did, and He never will. Let your heart soften. Let the tears fall if they need to. Let the walls come down. This is not weakness, it's the beginning of strength. The kind of strength that's built in love. The kind of strength that comes when you finally stop running and start resting in the arms that have always been reaching for you. His anger is not because He wants to lose you, it's because He's watched you walk through too much pain without turning to Him, and it breaks His heart. It is the kind of anger that cries out in love, like a father who sees his child heading toward danger and will do anything to bring them back to safety. Type 1919 to receive miracles. There are things about you that only God truly sees. The thoughts that keep you up at night, the dreams you've buried, the memories you can't erase. He knows them all. And still, He speaks your name with kindness. Still, He remembers the softness of your heart before the world began to harden it. Still, He waits. His anger isn't rooted in punishment. It's rooted in longing. The kind of longing that aches for your healing. The kind of longing that has always been tied to your soul, from the first time you opened your eyes to the moments you cried in silence, thinking no one noticed. But God noticed. He always has. The heavens are not distant. They are leaning close, whispering your name into the spaces where miracles are formed. God has not left you behind. You are still on the path, even if it feels like you've lost your way. Sometimes, the road gets covered in dust, and it's hard to see. Sometimes, grief blinds us, and disappointment builds walls. But none of those things are bigger than the love of Christ. None of them can keep Him from reaching you. He has walked every step beside you, even when you were too hurt to notice. There is so much more to your story than what you've been told. You were made for something beautiful, something holy, something eternal, and heaven knows that. That is why your name is there, written in places that can't be erased by earthly failure. That is why God's Spirit continues to call, even when you feel unworthy of being called. You are His. And that word His carries with it a strength that cannot be shaken by shame or fear. You don't need to perform to earn His attention. You already have it. You don't need to be flawless to receive His favor. It's already being offered. Right now, this very moment, is a sacred one. Not because everything around you is perfect, but because God is reaching for you in the middle of the imperfection. He is standing in the middle of your mess, offering the same love that carried the cross, the same hope that rose from the tomb. This is not the end of your story. This is not the part where God gives up on you. In fact, this is the part where the light starts to come back, where the chains you've quietly carried for too long begin to loosen, where the voices of doubt begin to fade beneath the sound of heaven calling your name not with anger to destroy, but with urgency to restore. You have been walking through life thinking that maybe you were meant to suffer more than others, that maybe joy wasn't something you deserved, but that is a lie. You were made for joy. You were designed for peace. And the things that tried to strip that from you, the losses, the rejection, the loneliness, they do not have the final say. Jesus does, and Jesus still says you are worth saving. Type 666 if you trust Jesus. There is a comfort that comes only when you stop running. Not when life gets easier, but when your soul turns toward the only one who understands it fully. God is not waiting for you to impress him. He is waiting for you to let him in. He is waiting for you to admit that maybe, just maybe, you can't do it all on your own, and you never had to. The weight you carry was never meant to be yours alone. The sadness you try to hide behind your smile is not invisible to God. He sees the pain you haven't spoken aloud. He hears the prayers you no longer know how to say, and he responds not with silence, but with movement. Right now, heaven is moving on your behalf. Right now, even as you read this, something in the spiritual realm is shifting because you were never forgotten. This is the moment where faith begins to breathe again, where the embers that felt cold begin to stir, where God's presence brushes against your spirit in a way that reminds you you're still alive for a reason. You still have purpose. You still have time. And the God who is calling your name will not stop until you are fully wrapped in the peace that he died to give you. You may not understand how it will all come together, but you don't need to. What you need is already within you: a heart that still beats, a soul that still hopes, and a name that is still spoken in heaven with love, not shame. You have not failed beyond forgiveness. You have not drifted too far. You have not missed your chance. The reason God's anger rises is not to strike you down, it is to wake you up, to bring you back, to pull you out of the heaviness that was never meant to bury you. Your name is alive in heaven not because you are condemned, but because you are chosen. There is a divine fire burning with your name written in it, and God will not allow it to fade into silence. He will not allow you to vanish into the shadows when he has destined you for the light. Type 2323 if you agree. There is a tenderness in God's pursuit of you, even in his frustration. He is not far away, shaking his head in disappointment. He is near, with tears in his eyes and mercy in his voice, calling your name again and again. He has always known that you would fall. He has always known that the world would lie to you, hurt you, confuse you, and try to steal the truth from your heart. And yet, he has never changed his mind about you. His love has remained steady, even when your faith has wavered. His plans have not unraveled, even when your steps felt lost. When your name is spoken in heaven, it means something holy is being stirred. It means the angels remember the promises spoken over your life. It means the Father still sees your destiny, no matter how far you've wandered. You may have let go of hope, but hope has never let go of you. Even when your hands were too tired to lift in prayer, heaven held your name with care, waiting for the day you would remember who you are and whose you are. He is angry because the enemy has been lying to you. Angry that fear has wrapped around your heart so tightly you've started believing you're unworthy of love. Angry that shame has silenced your voice when you were meant to sing again. Angry that sorrow has kept you from the joy he freely offers. This is not the anger of punishment. It is the fury of a father who sees his child suffering and will not stand still. God sees your battle. He sees how hard you try to hold it all together. He knows how you smile while you're aching inside. He knows the weight you carry, the things you hide, the pain you pretend doesn't exist. And even so, he never looks away. He doesn't withdraw. He moves closer. Because that's what love does, it stays, even when it hurts, even when it's hard, even when you've convinced yourself that no one would want to stay. But God is not like the world. His love does not expire. His grace does not have limits. And no matter how many times you've walked away, he's still here, calling, whispering, waiting, not with cold silence, but with a fierce love that burns through every wall you've built. Type 2020 to claim miracles. There is something powerful that happens when you finally stop trying to fix everything on your own. When you stop pretending you're fine. When you stop running. That's when healing begins, not in perfection, but in surrender. That's when your name, which has been echoing in heaven, begins to echo in your own heart again. That's when the parts of you that felt forgotten begin to breathe. That's when the Spirit of God wraps around your soul like a warm embrace and reminds you that you are still worthy, still loved, still chosen. You may be tired. You may be confused. You may not know how to find your way back. But the good news is, you don't have to. God isn't asking you to figure everything out. He's asking you to rest in Him, to lean into His grace, to simply open your heart and say, I'm still here, Lord. Help me. And He will, because He's never been waiting for you to be perfect. He's just been waiting for you to be honest. You've walked through fire. You've been hurt in ways you didn't deserve. You've had dreams crushed and hope delayed. But even so, you are still standing. And that means something. That means God still has more for you. It means the enemy didn't win. It means your story is still unfolding, and heaven still holds the pen. Do not let shame convince you that you are beyond redemption. Do not let guilt convince you that you're beyond healing. Every wound, every scar, every tear you've cried, they are not signs of defeat. They are signs of survival. They are reminders that even in the hardest moments, you were still held. Even when you were silent, heaven still heard you. There is a soft place in the heart of God that beats for you, a place that will never close, no matter how long it takes for you to return. You are not a disappointment. You are not a lost cause. You are not too much or too broken or too far gone. You are His, and that means there is still joy ahead, still peace waiting, still promises to be fulfilled. The same God who raised the dead still breathes life into what feels lifeless. The same God who calmed the sea still quiets the storm within you. The same God who created the stars still knows the number of tears you've cried, and He has not once stopped loving you. You are being called by name, not because of what you've done, but because of who you are. Not because you've earned it, but because Jesus already paid for it. There is nothing in you that disqualifies you from His grace. There is no chapter so dark it cannot be rewritten by His light. There is a reason heaven is speaking about you. There is a reason God has stirred your name in the places where eternity is shaped. This message is not a warning of punishment, it is a call home. It is the sound of love crying out for your return. You were not born to be lost. You were born to be loved. And the one who formed you has never stopped trying to bring your heart back to Him. Type Amen if you believe. There is a tenderness behind God's anger that the world will never understand. It is not the anger of destruction. It is the kind that wells up when a parent sees their child in danger, walking toward ruin, while thinking they're just fine. That is why your name is being stirred in heaven. Not because God wants to punish you, but because He wants to protect you. He wants to reclaim the beauty that has been buried under sorrow, fear, and shame. He wants to remind you that you were created in His image, that you are still His beloved, and that your soul still carries the sound of heaven inside it. Even in your silence, He has been near. Even when you ran, He followed with mercy. Even when your faith felt like it broke into pieces, He held every piece and waited for you to return. There is nothing you've done that has shocked Him. There is no darkness in you that has made Him turn away. What breaks His heart is not your failure, but your belief that you are no longer worthy of His presence. What moves Him is not your strength, but your surrender. And that is what He wants from you, not your perfection, not your effort, just your open heart. God is not tired of you. He's not frustrated with your weakness. He's not annoyed that you're still trying to figure it all out. He simply wants you to stop hiding, to stop pretending you don't need Him, and to stop listening to the lies that have whispered you're too far gone. You are not too far. In fact, the very fact that you're here, reading this now, is proof that God has never stopped reaching for you. The truth is, your name has always mattered in heaven. Before anyone ever knew you on earth, God knew you. Before the world called you by labels of pain, failure, or confusion, God called you by name. You belong to Him not because you've earned it, but because He made you. You don't have to understand how it all works. You just have to believe that His love is real, that it's bigger than your past, that it's stronger than your doubts, and that it's still waiting for you right now. Type 1111 if you trust in God. There is a sacred pull happening in your life. That tug you feel inside, that ache you can't quite name, is the Holy Spirit calling you back to the heart of the Father. It's not guilt, it's not fear, it's not shame, it's love. Pure, unrelenting love that will not stop until you remember what it feels like to be safe in God's presence. He is not looking to punish you for where you've been. He is looking to heal you from what you've been through. And He is doing it with the kind of love that doesn't rush, doesn't pressure, and never fails. The anger of God in this moment is the cry of heaven saying, "That one belongs to me." It's the righteous roar of a father who refuses to let darkness write the end of your story. You are not just a person with problems. You are a soul with divine purpose. There is something God placed inside you that the world cannot take, and that is why He fights so hard for you. That is why your name is still in heaven's mouth. This journey is not about religion, it's not about rules, it's not about appearances, it's about relationship. God wants your heart, not your performance, not your mask, not your Sunday version. Just the real you, the one that's tired, the one that's scared, the one that's tried everything else and still feels empty. That's the one He loves. That's the one He died to save. That's the one He is calling back. You may feel like there's no way back. Like the things you've said, the things you've done, the choices you've made have built too many walls between you and God. But His love doesn't need doors, it walks through walls. His grace doesn't need explanations, it just asks for honesty. If you can open your heart, even just a little, God will meet you there. If you can say, "I need you," He will come running, not to scold you, but to hold you. You don't have to clean up before you come home. You don't have to have the right words. You just have to come. That's it. The way back is simple. One step, one whisper, one moment of surrender. God will take it from there. He'll carry you the rest of the way, because that's what love does. It doesn't wait at the finish line, it comes and finds you where you are. So don't believe the lie that says it's too late. Don't believe the voice that tells you you've missed your chance. If you're still breathing, there's still time. If your heart is still beating, God is still calling. And if your name is still being mentioned in heaven, that means your life is still covered by grace. God is not angry because He hates you. God is angry because He loves you more than you can imagine, and He is watching your heart drift further away from the peace and purpose He created for you. When heaven speaks your name, it is never by accident. It is always with intention, always with love, and always with hope. Type 222 if you believe God has not given up on you. There is something sacred about your life that you may not see right now. You may have forgotten what it feels like to be close to God. Maybe you've been numb for so long that the idea of feeling joy again seems impossible. Maybe people have let you down. Maybe circumstances have hardened your heart. But even so, God still speaks your name with tenderness. He still sees you through eyes of love. And though your spirit may feel tired, though your soul may be weary, heaven is not silent about you. There are angels watching over you, even when you don't feel it. There are prayers whispered in heaven for you when you feel too broken to pray. There is a love deeper than the ocean still reaching for you in the silence. And when God becomes angry, it is not because He wants to condemn it, it is because He longs to redeem. It is because His heart breaks when you settle for pain, when He already prepared healing. It is because His love is too great to leave you wandering without a way home. God's heart is stirred when He sees His child forget who they truly are. You were not created to carry shame. You were not designed to live in fear. You were not meant to walk through life alone, trying to be strong while falling apart inside. God never intended for you to face the weight of the world by yourself. That is why He sent Jesus. Not just to die, but to walk with you. Not just to forgive, but to restore. Not just to save, but to stay. You don't have to fix everything right now. You don't have to figure it all out. You just have to be willing to let your heart open again. Because it is in that opening, no matter how small, that God moves. It is in the quiet surrender that His presence fills the emptiness. It is in your honesty that His grace begins to pour in like healing rain. God has not given up on you, even if you've given up on yourself. He's not angry because He's done with you. He's angry because He refuses to lose you. And His love will keep fighting for you, even when you stop fighting for yourself. This is how much you matter to Him. This is how deeply you are loved. And this is why your name is still being spoken in heaven. Type 555 if you know God is calling your name. You may feel unworthy, but God's love is not based on your worthiness. It's based on His unchanging nature. You may feel like your past disqualifies you, but God's mercy has already made a way forward. You may believe the lie that it's too late, but God sees time differently. What feels like the end for you is only the beginning for Him. He's already ahead of you. He's already seen the moment when the pieces begin to fit together again. And He's already prepared the healing your heart has longed for. He knows the things that hurt you. He knows the secrets that weigh you down. He knows the nights you cried and no one noticed. But He noticed. And not for a moment has He turned His face away. His hands are still open. His heart is still soft toward you. His spirit is still moving. Even now, even here, as you read these words with a quiet ache inside your chest, let this message remind you that your name matters to heaven. You are not a mistake. You are not a burden. You are not an afterthought. You were formed in love, covered in grace, and destined for more than just survival. There is a calling on your life that has not expired. There is a peace available to you that does not run out. And there is a Father waiting not to punish you, but to welcome you back into the fullness of His love. So come as you are. Come with your doubt. Come with your fear. Come with your anger and your wounds and your confusion. There is room for all of it in God's presence. He is not fragile. He is not offended by your pain. He is not ashamed of your journey. He simply wants you close again. He wants your heart. He wants your trust. He wants you to remember that you are still His child. The road may be hard. The healing may take time. But the invitation has always been the same. Come home. Not just to a belief, but to a relationship. Not just to a routine, but to a refuge. God is not calling you to religion. He is calling you to rest in Him, to stop running, to stop hiding, to stop doubting that you are worth saving, because you are. There is power in the moment you decide to believe again. There is peace in the moment you lay down your defenses and let love reach you. And there is freedom in knowing that even in your lowest place, God still chose you. He still sees you. He still speaks your name in heaven. This message is not the end. It's the beginning. It's a turning point. It's a lifeline being extended to your heart. Don't let it pass you by. Let it sink in. Let it soften the parts of you that have been hard for too long. Let it break the chains that have held you down. Because you were made for more than this pain. You were made for His presence. In the quiet chambers of heaven, your name has been spoken not in judgment but in love, not with wrath but with divine ache. It's the kind of anger that burns because of how much you are loved. The kind that cries out because the one who made you cannot bear to see you drifting away from the joy, peace, and purpose He created for you to walk in. Type yes to affirm your return to God's love. There is something sacred about you that even your deepest wounds cannot erase. There is something eternal within you that cannot be destroyed by the pain you've endured or the wrong paths you've walked. God has always known the full truth about you, your highs, your lows, your best moments, and your worst, and still, He speaks your name. Still, He calls you beloved. Still, He longs for your return. He does not want your perfection. He wants your presence. He does not expect you to have all the answers. He simply asks for your heart. You may have wandered far. You may have made choices you regret. But the moment your name was mentioned in heaven, mercy began to move toward you. Not to condemn you, but to cover you. Not to expose your shame, but to heal what's been broken for too long. Heaven is not against you. Heaven is for you. And God's anger is not a punishment. It is the echo of a love that refuses to give up on you. So many people walk through life believing they must carry everything alone. You've learned to hide your pain, to smile through tears, to hold yourself together, even when it feels like your soul is unraveling. But you were never meant to live like that. You were never created to suffer in silence. You were never designed to carry burdens that only God can lift. He sees how tired you are. He sees the weight you've been holding. And He is angry not with you, but with everything that has tried to pull you away from His light. He is angry at the lies that told you you're not enough. Angry at the pain that convinced you to close your heart. Angry at the guilt that made you feel unworthy of grace. Angry at the fear that built walls between you and peace. And most of all, He is angry that the enemy has tried to silence the beauty of who you are. But even in His anger, God is not turning His face from you. He is turning toward you with healing in His hands and redemption in His eyes. He is drawing near, and He is not coming to punish. You've already been through enough. He is coming to rescue, to restore, to reclaim what was lost. Type 1212 if you walk by faith and not by sight. You may not have the strength to climb out of your struggle, but you don't have to. You were never meant to save yourself. That's what Jesus came for. That's what the cross was for. Not just to cover your sins, but to carry your sorrows. Not just to forgive your past, but to open the way to a future filled with peace, purpose, and the kind of love this world can't offer. And yes, you may feel distant. You may feel numb, but those feelings do not disqualify you. They do not change God's heart toward you. He is still calling your name. He is still making a way. He is still lighting the path back to Him. Every time you've cried out, He heard you. Every time you whispered help through your tears, He was already moving. The world may try to define you by your failure, but God defines you by His grace. The world may try to keep you in your past, but God calls you into His presence. You don't need to pretend anymore. You don't need to be strong all the time. You just need to be willing to come. Come with your fear, come with your doubt, come with your questions and your pain and all the broken pieces. He will take them. He will hold them. He will heal them. You are not here by accident. You are not reading this message by coincidence. Heaven planned this moment. God orchestrated every word to reach into the deepest part of your heart and remind you you are still His, no matter what, no matter how far, no matter how long it's been, you still belong. And the arms that once stretched out on the cross are still open, still waiting, still welcoming you home. It's not too late. You are not too far. God's love doesn't run out. His mercy is not limited. His grace is still greater than your greatest mistake. The blood of Jesus didn't lose its power. The invitation to come home still stands. And your name, your precious, beloved name, is still being spoken in heaven. You don't need to say anything fancy. You don't need to prove anything. Just whisper in your heart, God, I need you, and He will come. He always comes, with gentle love, with holy passion, with healing that reaches into the deepest places. This anger you feel from Him is not meant to frighten you, but to awaken you. It's not to push you away, but to pull you back into the light you've been missing. When your name is spoken in heaven, it means that heaven has not moved on from you. It means that God is still holding on. It means that your story, even with all its broken parts, still has chapters to be written, beautiful, healing, powerful chapters that only begin when you return to Him. Type 1919 to receive miracles. You've been through things no one fully understands. You've carried burdens you didn't ask for. You've made choices you wish you could erase. And still, your name is not erased in heaven. It is not forgotten. It is not spoken with disappointment or anger meant to shame you. It is spoken because there is still a place for you in the heart of God. He never gave that up. Even when you ran, even when you went silent, even when you doubted if He was real, He never let go of your name. God's anger is like a storm that clears the sky, not one that destroys, but one that makes room for the sun to break through again. It is not to harm, it is to heal. It is a fierce love refusing to remain quiet while you suffer in silence. It's the fire of compassion that cannot bear to watch you trade His promises for pain, His peace for confusion, His love for loneliness. You were never meant to walk this life without Him, and He cannot stand to see you believe you must. You may feel lost, you may even feel numb, but those feelings are not your truth. Your truth is that you are a child of the living God. You are a soul born of divine breath. And the moment you reach for Him again, the moment you even whisper His name with longing, everything begins to shift. Not because you've earned it, but because His love never stopped being available to you. There is no scar too deep for Him to heal. There is no past too heavy for Him to redeem. And there is no silence too long for Him to break. He is not measuring your worth by your performance. He is not weighing your value by your strength. He is simply saying, "Come home, come back. I never stopped loving you." Type 666 if you trust Jesus with your whole heart. There are parts of your heart that have been locked away for so long. Wounds you've buried, pain you've hidden, hopes you've given up on. But God hasn't. He sees every part of you and still says, "You are mine." He's not waiting for you to become someone better. He's waiting for you to believe that who you are is still enough for Him to love, to heal, and to carry back into peace. You've tried to be strong for so long. You've told yourself you don't need anyone, maybe even convinced yourself that God was too distant or too disappointed to care. But deep down, something in you has always longed to be seen, to be known, to be held without judgment. That's why He's calling your name. That's why heaven is speaking now. Because God never stopped seeing you, He never stopped knowing you, and He never stopped wanting to be near. He is not afraid of your brokenness. He is not offended by your questions. He is not overwhelmed by your pain. He steps right into it with you, not to condemn, but to comfort. He brings light where there's been darkness. He brings peace where there's been panic. He brings love where you've only felt loneliness. And all He asks is that you let Him in. You don't have to do it all at once. You don't need the perfect words. All you need is the willingness to say, "God, I want you," even if I'm not sure how to find you, and He will respond, every time, without hesitation. Because His anger was never about judgment, it was always about how fiercely He still wants your heart. You were not created to wander without purpose. You were not made to live with constant fear or shame or sadness. God has something better for you, not just in eternity, but here, now, in the ordinary days where you felt unseen. There is joy for you that hasn't been lost. There is healing that hasn't expired. There is a future ahead of you that is still full of beauty and meaning and light. And that's what heaven sees when your name is spoken. It sees the person you were always meant to be. It sees the child God formed with love. It sees the moments of breakthrough that are still coming. and it sees the strength you don't even realize you've carried just to survive. That strength matters. Your tears matter. Your hope still matters. Let this be the moment where something shifts. Let this be the beginning of your return, not to rules, not to pressure, but to rest, to peace, to grace. Let your soul soften again. Let your heart believe again, not in the world, not in yourself, but in the one who has never stopped believing in you. It speaks with yearning, with a tone of love so deep it breaks through the walls you've built to protect yourself. God's anger is not the same as human anger. It doesn't carry punishment, it carries pain. The kind of pain only a father feels when he sees his child hurting, wandering, forgetting who they are and who they've always been to him. Type Amen if you believe. You are not here by chance. This moment, this message, is not a coincidence. It is divine timing. It is the gentle sound of heaven reminding you that there is still time to turn back, still space in God's heart for you, still mercy wide enough to cover everything you've tried to bury. He doesn't care how far you've gone. He only cares that you come back, and He'll meet you right where you are with no hesitation, no conditions, no shame. There is something inside you, even now, that still aches for God. You may have silenced it, you may have hidden it beneath distractions, pain, or pride, but it's still there. That quiet part of you that longs to be seen, to be held, to be healed. That part of you is the piece of your soul that still remembers who made you, and that is why heaven keeps speaking your name. That is why the Spirit keeps tugging at your heart, because God never stopped seeing the real you, even when the world tried to cover you in labels and lies. You may be broken, you may be bruised, but you are not beyond repair. You are not too far for grace to reach. You are not too hardened for love to soften. God specializes in making dead things live again. He takes what looks hopeless and breathes life into it. He takes what feels lost and finds purpose in it. You are no exception. Your story is not finished. Your life is not beyond redemption. Type 1111 if you trust in God's timing. There is a reason why this message feels like it's speaking directly to your soul. That's not emotion. That's the Spirit of God calling out from within you, answering the voice of the one who created you. You were made for more than just surviving. You were made for peace, for hope, for joy. But most of all, you were made to be loved by your Creator, deeply, completely, without condition. You don't have to pretend anymore. You don't have to carry the weight of being enough. You already are. You've always been, not because of what you've done, but because of who He is. His love doesn't shift with your failures. His grace doesn't vanish when you mess up. He stays, He remains, He pursues. And that's what you're feeling right now, God's pursuit of your heart. His holy, beautiful determination to not let you go, no matter how many steps you've taken in the wrong direction. Every step away from Him was matched with His quiet steps toward you. Every time you pushed Him aside, He stood nearby, just waiting, because that's what love does. It waits, it protects, it hopes, and it never gives up. He is not angry because you are unworthy. He is stirred because something sacred has been threatened, your identity, your peace, your nearness to Him, and He will not sit still while your soul is held hostage by fear, shame, or lies. He will fight for you. He will chase after you. He will tear down every wall you've built if it means having your heart back again. You may not know how to come back. That's okay. You don't have to have it all figured out. God just wants your yes. He wants your willingness. He wants your heart, cracked and confused as it may be. You don't have to be ready. You just have to be real. He'll take it from there. He'll walk with you through the pain. He'll sit with you in the silence. He'll rebuild what was broken. He'll restore what was lost. Not in one day, not all at once, but step by step, breath by breath, with gentleness and patience. Because He is not in a hurry to fix you. He is devoted to loving you. There are pages in your story that are waiting to be written. Pages filled with peace you never thought you'd feel again. Laughter that rises from a healed place. Rest that reaches into your soul. And none of that is out of reach, not for you. Not now, not ever. The very mention of your name in heaven means that you are still being held in the hands of the one who shaped the stars, yet still longs most for your heart. When God's anger is stirred, it is not the kind of anger that crushes, it is the sorrow of a loving father who has watched his child drift into emptiness, all while a place of peace waits untouched at his side. Type 2323 if you agree God is calling you home. You may have walked through seasons where pain became your language and doubt became your compass. Life may have worn you down. People may have failed you. And in all that noise, you may have believed that God walked away too. But the truth is, He never did. He stood in every shadow, waited at every closed door, stayed through every silence. He did not leave. He did not let go. He did not stop loving you. The mention of your name in heaven is not a warning of doom. It's a reminder of purpose. It's heaven's way of saying, we're not done with this one. There is still hope here. There is still light here. You may not feel it yet, but God is stirring things in the unseen. He's preparing a way even in places that still feel like dead ends. And that holy anger you sense, it's the sound of love refusing to let you stay lost. You might be tired of trying, tired of hoping, tired of believing. That's okay. God isn't asking you to have it all figured out. He's not demanding strength from you. He is offering His. He is offering arms wide enough to hold you and grace deep enough to cover every dark corner. He is not overwhelmed by your confusion. He is not frustrated by your questions. He is not shaken by your silence. He is here, and the moment you allow your heart to open, even just slightly, He will meet you with more peace than you've known in a long time. He will fill the aching places with comfort. He will mend what life has torn apart. He will rebuild the broken parts of you with gentle hands and endless patience, because that's who He is. That's who He has always been. Not a God of pressure, but a God of presence. Type 2020 to claim miracles over your life. You are not forgotten. You are not beyond reach. Every breath in your lungs is proof that God is not done with you. Every moment you feel that nudge to come closer, that's Him. That's His Spirit drawing you in. Because He misses you. Not your performance. Not your strength. Just you, your heart, your soul, your voice. He misses your presence. Heaven is not quiet about you. Your name carries weight there. Your name still moves the heart of God. When it's spoken, it doesn't bring judgment, it brings movement. The angels listen, the Spirit responds, and God Himself rises with love fierce enough to chase away the darkness you've been living in. He doesn't stay distant while you suffer. He draws near, and He whispers, "You are still mine." Maybe you've been gone for a long time. Maybe you've never truly known what it means to walk with God. Or maybe you just feel numb now, too tired to care, too hurt to hope. Wherever you are in that journey, know this: there's nothing you've done that makes you unworthy of being loved by God. There is no mistake so great, no doubt so loud, no silence so long that His mercy cannot reach you. He is not waiting for you to have the right words. He is not asking for the perfect prayer. He's only asking for your heart. And when you give it, whether in a whisper, a tear, or a breath, He will receive it like treasure. Because to Him, you are the one He leaves the 99 for, the one whose name He still carries, the one He rejoices over when you finally say, "I'm ready." He has never seen you as too broken to love. In fact, the places where you feel the most wrecked are the very places He longs to restore. The guilt you carry so heavily, He wants to lift it. The fear that keeps you frozen, He wants to break it. The questions that keep you up at night, He's not afraid of them. He just wants you to bring them to Him. to let him carry what was never meant to be yours alone. God's anger isn't about wrath, it's about rescue. It's the sound of love that refuses to stay quiet while your soul fades under the weight of life. It's the power of heaven shaking the earth, saying, "That one still belongs to me. That one still has a purpose." So, don't harden your heart. Don't ignore the stirring inside you. That is God. That is love. That is your name being spoken by the one who never stopped watching over you. Let the tears come if they need to. Let the walls fall. Let your spirit rest. You don't need to fight alone anymore. You don't need to carry what's crushing you. There is safety in His presence. There is rest in His arms. There is healing in His name. And He is not just willing, He is eager to welcome you home. Your name still rests on the lips of angels. It is still whispered in prayers before the throne. It is still held in the hands of the one who wrote it before time began. That is why He is stirred. Not because you are failing Him, but because you are loved by Him more deeply than you have allowed yourself to believe. He is calling you. Not in anger to punish you, but in passion to pull you back into everything He still wants to give you. You have been trying to carry too much. You've buried your pain beneath strength, your grief beneath silence, your weariness beneath a smile. But God sees through all of it. He sees the soul beneath the surface, the soul that is still soft, still searching, still aching for rest, and He doesn't look away from your mess. He doesn't hide from your doubt. He steps into it, into the broken, forgotten, overlooked parts of you, and He still says, "You are mine." You might have wondered if your prayers mattered. You might have cried and seen no change. You might have asked, "Where are you, God?" and only heard silence. But that silence was never absence. It was the waiting room of heaven. It was the space where angels moved quietly. It was the moment just before the breakthrough that He's still bringing. Don't let that silence convince you He stopped listening. He never did. Sometimes, the loudest voice in our life isn't God's. It's our guilt. It's our regret. It's the memory of all the ways we've wandered too far. But God speaks through those lies with truth. He says you are forgiven. He says you are seen. He says you are still called. The distance you feel is not permanent. The coldness in your heart is not who you are. God still knows the version of you that He created in joy, and He still believes in the good He planted in you. You have not missed your moment. You have not ruined your destiny. You have not run too far. That idea is a lie, a trick to keep you from reaching for the hand that's still reaching for you. And that hand, nail-scarred, tender, strong, is steady. It doesn't flinch at your mess. It doesn't pull away when you cry. It stays, holding you when you feel you deserve nothing.